Everything just changed in Ukraine. This is 8 a.m., 8:18 to be exact, and it's a pedestrian bridge in the capital of Ukraine. That's how brazen the Russian attacks on the capital of Ukraine have gotten. And I'm just at the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to show you some pretty wild moments that happened in the last 48 hours in Ukraine. You see, this bridge is not some far flung place. In fact, here you can see it. It's Park Bridge in the capital. And people would have been walking here were they not have to have been given warning by their government. And what did the Ukrainian people do in response? Well, you're going to see a pattern here. They sang. This is hours after the attack. And he was on the very same bridge that got attacked. Meanwhile, in the BBC, during one of their reports, the reporter has to duck and cover.
In the south of the country, very close to the front lines, was hit. More than a dozen. So
he hits the deck.
Okay, Hugo.
This is live on television as this happens. Here's another live streamer in Ukraine, and this is pretty wild as there's incoming fire here. As you can tell, it was very close to wherever she was live streaming from. Other drivers just used their dash cams. And you see, as you're driving down the street, imagine driving in your neighborhood and there are explosions just going off like this as you're just trying to cruise down the street. That was today in Ukraine. I mean, look at all of these explosions right here. One that starts it off, and you can see it continue to fall out from here. Russia was targeting a lot of the electrical grid in other places. They got about 30% of it or so back up in Ukraine. But as you can see, this would have been incredibly frightening to be in this vehicle. What did the Ukrainians do? I told you there'd be a theme. This is the metro station, which they use as a bomb shelter in situations like this. They were also singing over at one of the children's shelters. This is done to distract the kids from what is happening in that very moment. Here in the underground, again, a huge crowd of people hiding from these attacks. All singing together. Remember this guy. But it's been a long day for him. This is inside the Kyiv State University, the Faculty of Philology. And you can see here, this was the Department of Russian Studies, strangely enough, that they blasted up in this particular attack. Over here, you can see what the aftermath was. This is pretty wild. This is in the capital. I'm going to show you where this is. This is not far-flung. This is not some military base. This is in the capital after these attacks. Huge fire. It's right by a park. Cars blown up. All those vehicles have been hit. Lots of civilians caught in the crossfire. That was right by here, this park, just in the middle of everything. And it's pretty just unbelievable to see how brazen these attacks have gotten in the capital. What do you think happens next? Is there any way out of this without some sort of tactical nuke being dropped on Ukraine? Can they defend their country from the incursion from the Russians? What's going to happen next? That's what all these people want to know, and it's certainly what I want to know too. Give me your reactions and comments. Thanks for watching, as always. Facebook.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit that follow button. YouTube.com/TheNewsJunkie. Hit subscribe.